All right, all right, all right. Here we go. Hey, Robin, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing very good. Thank you so much for asking. My name is Tanner. I'm from Salesforce, as you know. I've been at Salesforce for about 10 years now. I've done a little bit of marketing, a little bit of sales, but obviously I'm still in the sales unit here. Um, Abby told me a lot about you. She told me that you were really looking to increase your company's efficiency, which I'm a big fan of. I'm super excited to talk to you. Obviously, I owe this all to her, and I'll have to buy her coffee if this all goes well for us. I've just got a few, I just got a question for you here. Now, when you wake up in the morning at 10 a.m., you've got 400 people working for you. What's your inbox looking like for your emails? Is it flooded or is it empty?
I would say it's most of the time it's pretty flooded. I'd say I'd get a I like to joke I get probably a couple emails a minute. So
Yeah,
it's always
100%.
packed.
Right. And so obviously that's where one of those scenes where Salesforce can really help you out. We have a really good organization for stuff like that. Because obviously before I worked here, I worked for companies that didn't have Salesforce and I was getting all those emails as well. First out of college, I had a job and you're getting all these emails. I like your joke. You get a couple emails a minute. I mean, that's true. And it's it's a terrible thing to deal with. And you want like a organized CRM structure that's able to help with that. So I was just wondering how your inbox was looking. So obviously, I do know we don't have much time today. We've only got about 15 minutes. So if you're looking to get started, that works with me too. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Perfect.
Let's
So I'm
go.
just going to ask you some questions here. So obviously, I know that you obviously are looking to get Salesforce, and I'm just wondering, how do you picture your ideal CRM as a big company?
That's a great question. Right now we're in the middle of a huge company restructure. And so we're really looking for something to kind of ease that transition, make it a little bit easier, maybe help save some of our employees some time during the transition to kind of take some of the stress off of them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. So you're really just looking to save your employees time, and you want to take stress off of them. So I gotcha. Is that all you're looking for there?
Yeah, maybe like I've heard you guys have some benefits with AI and things like that. So maybe incorporating some of those things. Yeah, so that's one thing we're looking for.
I gotcha. And just another question. So let's say, looking down the line as your company, what improvements would you like to make with your CRM, or how could a CRM help your company, I guess, down the line or in the future?
Yeah, so we wanna make sure that both sales and marketing, the two departments I'm vice president of, that they really work together well and they share important customer information for each other. We've noticed, we've done some studies, and we've noticed that a lot of opportunities to kind of seal the deal with potential clients are missed or they're dropped because both sales and marketing aren't able to share info. So we would like something that really is inclusive and really allows sales and marketing kind of share information amongst each other, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes plenty of sense. I'm just wondering, so who's involved in making this big decision of, where to switch over, if you're going to switch over to Salesforce or if you're going to keep using HubSpot? I'm just wondering, who's making the big decision, or who is, is there like a group of people, or what the scoop is there?
Yeah, that's a great question. So as vice president, it's ultimately my decision. However, I ultimately don't use I haven't used HubSpot a lot in the past couple of years. That's a lot of my salespeople and a lot of my managers are the ones who mainly use HubSpot. So ultimately, although the decision does come down to me, I would like to include some of my salespeople and some of my marketers as well and kind of get their opinion on things, if that makes sense.
I gotcha. And are there just I'm just looking for overall biggest concerns with switching over from HubSpot to Salesforce as a CRM provider.
Yeah, I would really just say something that kind of eases the transition, because we're already having a lot of transition all throughout the company. So something that really eases the transition for the people under my command, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I gotcha. And so I'm just making sure here I have this right. So how many employees did you have working for you?
We have 200 in sales and 200 in marketing. So in total, I'm in charge of 400 people.
Okay, perfect. So 400 people. And so earlier you did mention that you were having some missed clients. And so you think that maybe HubSpot is the reason that you had these missed clients and you're missing these opportunities because they're not sharing information, correct?
Yeah, I would most definitely say that.
Now, do you think that maybe this is probably losing opportunities for you and these opportunities are losing you revenue?
Yeah, I would most definitely say that they are losing us revenue. I mean, obviously as a salesperson, that's the main thing you're focused on is trying to create as much money as you can for your company, trying to really finish those sales, and make as much money as we can for the company. I would say though that that money really in terms of isn't really the biggest issue. We had a huge project earlier in the year that we ultimately ended up canceling. So we do have some leftover budget. Because Abby did tell me that Salesforce is a little bit more expensive than HubSpot. So ultimately, I don't think price is that big of an issue for us because we have that extra money from the project that was canceled.
I
So
gotcha. And that all makes plenty of sense. So, but here's the bottom line for me is personally, like, let's say I was, the owner of the company. I don't want those missed opportunities in my company. I want to be making as much money as I possibly can. So if you're having those missed opportunities because of, your marketing team and your sales team can't communicate as well, that's an easy fix, especially when you use Salesforce. So Salesforce will provide you with that, that the HubSpot is cruelly missing out for you guys there. And it hurts me to hear out loud that HubSpot is getting you guys those missed opportunities, which is providing obviously missed revenue for you guys. And I just feel like obviously switching over to Salesforce that could really help you out there. Does that sound
okay,
good?
yeah, that sounds great.
Perfect. Well, I really liked hearing that you're, what you're looking for in Salesforce. I'd really like to talk to you more about maybe what we can provide you. Does that sound good?
That sounds like a great plan. Let's hear it.
Awesome. So obviously, your first one that we talked about was you need to save time and you want to reduce stress for your employees. I mean, that's a big thing at Salesforce because obviously we're one of the biggest, I guess, CPI like providers out there. So we're able to provide you with much more than other ones will be able to. So ours is going to be much more advanced. You're going to get much more for it. Obviously, it's going to cost you more money, but you're going to get more bang for your buck that way. And because of this, you're going to be able to save time for your employees, and that's going to reduce stress for them. Because it's going to be easier to use, so they're going to be able to do more, do it quicker, and it's going to be easier to use, which is going to save stress for them because they're not going to be worrying about, how to use it, what's going on with it. And let's say, for example, they have a problem with it, right? At Salesforce, we have multiple ways that they can go about trying to get help. Maybe somewhere like HubSpot, which is what you're using, doesn't have these ways. So, like, let's say they run into a problem, right? I mean, I'm assuming you have employees running into problems, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, of course. So I mean, no matter what, you're going to run into problems eventually. So, but the thing is, to that makes us stand out compared to these guys, HubSpot, maybe other CPM manufacturers like that, is that we have these great ways for them to be able to reach out and look for help, which is going to be able to reduce their stress, save them time. It's going to be people like that are dedicated to helping them. So it's going to be able to save them time, reduce stress super well, and overall, it's just going to make their lives a lot easier. Does that sound good for you?
That sounds like a great plan. Yeah, I love that.
Awesome. And so you also talked about you were looking for AI benefits. So AI obviously was definitely integrated in our Salesforce experience. You're going to be able to use AI. AI is going to be able to, it can tell you what you need to do down the future to make more money. It can tell you how to respond to people. Like let's say they email you, it can give you suggestions on how to email back or what to do down the line to help you out, obviously, and making more money, as I said, which is great for them, great for the sales people. And this is also going to help you on what we just talked about. This AI is going to make their lives so much easier, stress-free, and it's going to save them time because they're going to be able to see what they could be doing that's going to make them more money and save them more time right there in front of them using the AI. Now, the AI is also used in what we were talking about when it comes to needing help. So, like, let's say if you have a problem, we also have an AI chatbot that you can just go talk to easily, and it can help you. Obviously, it's not going to be as useful as a person because they aren't, I guess they're limited knowledge and they can't, personalize you that much, but they will be able to help you as well. And that's just instant responses right there. Now, does that sound like the AI that you're looking for to help?
Yeah, that sounds like that would really help take a lot of stress off of my employees and really make their jobs a lot easier.
Yeah.
And something that would take a couple hours to do sounds like it would only take a couple minutes now.
Yeah, no, it's
So I'd
awesome.
be definitely interested in that.
Yeah. And so another thing that you were looking for is you want your marketing and your sales teams to collaborate. Well, the thing that's so good about Salesforce is that it's all in one. So your marketing will be able to see what the sales is doing. Your sales will be able to see what the marketing is doing all in one, like I guess one big space, and that they can collaborate on. That way there is no division between the two. You don't have to go in person and ask them. You can just see it all in one big space, and you have all the shared information between your company. That way you can get more done quicker. Again, saving time, saving stress, and stuff like that. Does that sound like something that's going to help your company out?
Yeah, that sounds like exactly what we're looking for. Something that lost us a lot of opportunities in the past. That sounds like a fix for that. So I love hearing that.
So, I mean, this all sounds great to you, sounds great to me. Are there any big problems that you're thinking you're facing with this, or any things that you might want to take a deeper look at?
Um, even though we kind of have the money to pay for it, it still is a huge expense, and we are looking at a competitor. I won't name them, but they are significantly about 50K a year cheaper than you guys. Can you speak to that a little bit about why we should choose
Yeah,
you
I can do
guys
that.
over them?
So $50,000 a year is definitely a big number, and I could see how that's a big concern for you because it's $50,000. No matter how big the company is, it's 50K is 50K, and you don't know how much more you're getting from us. But here's the thing: so statistically speaking, just in general, Salesforce has increased revenue for most companies about 29%. So that $50,000 difference could be just the difference between 29% increase in revenue, which depending on how much your company makes, is going to be a lot more than $50,000. Another big stat that you can look at is there's a 38% company productivity increase, which again, this comes from the fact that Salesforce is such a big company and we are the leader in the industry. So it's just like $50,000 is going to get you so much more if you go to us. So obviously
Okay.
50K is still a big difference, but it's just when you look at the grand scheme of things, how much more you're getting out of Salesforce, 50,000 just kind of seems like a small number. So obviously when you look at it on paper, it's big, but when you look further down the line in the future, how much more you're going to be making and how much more productive your employees are going to be using Salesforce, it's a big difference to go with us. Now, are there any other objections, or should we get like a time going for us here? Set up a time to maybe have a meeting.
I do have one. I do have another objection. A lot of our high performing reps really love HubSpot, and I think it'll be a little bit difficult to get them to transition over to Salesforce.
I gotcha. I see what you're saying. So obviously, I know that you just switched over to HubSpot a few years ago, and so now that you have these high performing sales reps, they figured out how to use HubSpot. Obviously, they're not going to want to switch because they know how to use it and they're making plenty of money, right? So obviously, so another, I guess, as we were saying earlier, it's a very easy transition to go from HubSpot or any other, um, like I guess CRM to go to Salesforce because we're just such an easy company to figure out how to use. Because first of all, there's not that much difference in the base of it, but you're just gonna get so much more, I guess, like extra products when you go to Salesforce. But overall, the idea is kind of similar, so it's not too hard to transfer to. But the other thing is let's say you do have problems, as we talked about earlier, there are plenty of ways that Salesforce is able to help you figure out those solutions. We have obviously, like we talked about, we have people that are just sitting there waiting for you guys to come to us with problems. And obviously, another thing you can do is you can just Google the problem. I mean, we're such a big company that you can just Google the problem. Chances are someone else has had the problem, and you can just figure it out there. But we're just such a big company that being able to transfer, I guess, like transition to a new CRM isn't going to be that difficult. And I think that once you show your high performing, like statistically making more money, your salespeople, they're going to see how much more value they can get out of Salesforce and they're going to be okay with it. Obviously, at first, it doesn't sound great because you don't want to switch over because they already figure out how to use HubSpot. But farther down the line, they're going to see the benefit of it and they're going to be okay with it. Now, is there maybe something else to explore in more detail that you're looking for, or?
Um, no, I'd say my last objection is that I did mention we're going through a transition, and that transition is planning to end sometime in July. Is there a way that we could kind of put this on the shelf until July when we have a little more time, a little more freedom, and kind of think about it then?
Yeah, so I know you're super busy right now, and that's super understandable. I will say the big thing is like we don't have to get a sale going right now. All we're really looking for is to set up another meeting between us. Like we want to do another meeting between, our team and maybe your marketing and sales team. We don't have to have a closing sale right now, nothing like that. And the other thing I think you're gonna be looking at, I'm not sure if you know about it. I was talking to some of your people at your workplace, and I saw that your I guess contract is ending with HubSpot in I think it's May. So I think that you need to be like, like, I don't want to say more proactive, but it's coming up soon here. So we should probably get something going, even if it's just a meeting again. We don't have to have a sale coming soon. But we should be getting a meeting going here if that sounds good with you. Can I schedule one with
Okay.
you?
Yeah, I was not aware of that. I'd love to schedule a meeting so we can talk about this further.
Perfect. That sounds so great. It was great talking to you. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
It's great talking to you. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
All right. I think that wasn't bad. How do I stop recording?